Hello my dear friends, welcome back to my channel Madhavi Dosapati. So how is it going on? Well guys, today we are going to actually look at a small story on a crow. Hold on, it is not the usual story that we actually heard it in our childhood. Rather, this is altogether a different story about a crow. So why delay? Let's go ahead. Well guys, one day Crow was really unhappy about its appearance and it started feeling very lonely and it was crying so badly. It went ahead and asked one sadhu, what sort of a life I have got? Look, you all are like really great. You have actually, the God has actually created lots of other animals or lots of other birds which are really beautiful. Why am I being end up looking so ugly, so like not friendly at all? Everyone whosoever looks at me, they just move me away. They just shoot me off. Not only that, I'm only being used at the time of only their rituals. What sort of a life is it? I don't want. Please Sadhu, turn me into a swan. Then for that, Sadhu says very politely, you know what guys? When he says, okay Crow, I'm so sorry for whatever you feel, but let me ask you a small question. So you want to you want to get transformed into a swan, right? Then for that, Crow undoubtedly says, of course, look at swan. It looks so beautiful, so white in color, so peaceful, whatnot. I just don't want to be like this. I don't want to look ugly. People don't love me at all either for my color, my appearance, nothing. No one loves me. They just move it. They just shook me off. And they don't even invite me for any of their things. They see me as if I'm not even existing. What sort of a life? Immediately, Sadhu, please transform me into a swan. Then for that the sadhu says, okay Crow, I will transform you as soon as possible. But before that, are you sure that swan is happy with its life? Then for that, Crow is shocked guys, and it says, what do you mean? Why wouldn't swan be happy? It must be the happiest creature on the world. Then for that, sadhu says, you better stop assuming yourself, Crow. You do one thing. Before I transform you into a swan, why don't you go and check out with swan about its happiness? Is it really happy? If only it says that yes, it is happy, then I would transform you as soon as possible, okay? But before that, just go ahead and get the inputs. Then Sadhu leaves from there. Then immediately, Crow goes near Swan and it says, oh my dear Swan, you are such a beautiful creature in the world. I'm really envying you. I have just asked Sadhu to transform me into you. Then he said yes, but then he gave a small condition. That was, he wanted to check with me that if you are happy, don't tell me Swan that you are not happy. You must be the happiest creature in the world, aren't you? Then for that, what does Swan say? Swan laughs and says, what are you even talking, Crow? Do you know what I'm going through? Well, people all over, they come and visit me. Because of my color, I don't even know whether people are clicking my pictures or the water pictures. I just get mixed up with them. Is it even a color? Just white. It's so pale. Like seriously, do you know for what purpose people use white? Exactly. I don't like this. I just don't like this at all. Then for that, Crow is utterly shocked. Crow is shocked so much that it thinks, what am I even going to ask Sadhu? What would I even tell him? Then immediately, Crow, with its intelligence, asks Swan, okay, Swan, if you don't like yourself, then what do you like the most? For that, the Swan says, well, as for me, just look at parrot. It's such a wonderful bird, right? It has multicolors. It's so nice. Wow. Then for that, Crow says immediately, okay Swan, let's do one thing. Let's go ahead and quickly ask Sadhu for both of us to transform into a parrot. What do you say? Then Swan agrees to it and both of them immediately rush to Sadhu. Well, Sadhu looks at both of them and he says, "So Swan, you also want to get transformed into parrot?" Then the Swan says, "Yes, Sadhu, please transform both of us into parrot because parrot is a wonderful bird." Then for that, Sadhu says with a smile in his face simply, "Well, as I already stated to Crow, firstly you both go and talk to parrot and just check if parrot is happy or not." Then for that, Swan looks at Crow and asks, "What is it?" Then Sadhu says, "Well, my dear Swan, I asked the same thing to Crow and Crow stated it wanted to get transformed into Swan. But now you both are asking to get transformed into parrot. So please go ahead and check with parrot if it is happy with its life." Then for that, Swan and Crow immediately rush to check out for a parrot. They go around and around and around and finally they find a parrot just on a tree. Then they say, "Oh my dear parrot, please come down. We just have a small question." For that, parrot looks both of them and says, "What is it?" Then they both ask, "Parrot, we hope you are having a wonderful life, right? Please tell yes, please tell yes." And for that, parrot laughs and says, "1 second, why did you go around and around? Because you are not able to identify me, right?" "Exactly. I just got mixed up with these trees. What sort of life is it? People don't even recognize me. I'm getting mixed up wherever I go. I don't like this life at all. What sort of a life? God, I cannot even be distinguished if I'm mixed up with trees or flowers. Is this a life? You tell me? Do I have an identity?" Then for that, Swan and Crow were shocked. And they were thinking, what are we even thinking about it? Look, even parrot is not happy. Then for that, Swan took a very clever move. It immediately asked parrot, "Okay, Crow, please hold on. Parrot, in your terms, what is the most beautiful bird then?" Then for that, parrot immediately says, without even taking a second, "It is peacock. Yes, peacock. Look at its feathers. It is so beautiful. People just treat it like, wow, such an amazing bird I have ever seen." Exactly. Peacock has got a great life. People admire it to the most. Wow. I believe, yes, peacock is the best in my terms. Then Swan and Crow immediately take this parrot along with them and go near Sadhu. And they say, "Sadhu, we have understood now that the beautiful and the best bird is peacock. Please transform 3 of us into peacock." Then the same thing goes on. Sadhu just laughs and says, "Okay, my dear Crow, looks like you're not convinced. Okay, but before that, as you know, our ritual. Please go near peacock and get confirmation whether it is happy with its life or not." Then for that, parrot immediately intervenes, guys. Intervenes and says, "What are you even talking, Sadhu? Do you think there's any other bird which is more happier than peacock? Oh, please stop making, stories." Then for that, Sadhu politely says, "Look, my dear parrot, probably you're new to this, but Swan and Crow have already been through my questions. So please follow their footsteps, okay?" And Sadhu immediately moves from there. Then Swan and Crow finally make parrot understand what it is all about. And those 3 of them go and meet peacock. Yes, guys, peacock, the most beautiful bird with a lot of feathers on it, the most colorful. Wow, right? Exactly. They feel the same and they go and immediately meet peacock. But by then, you know what happened? Peacock was so frightened. It was trying to save its life. It was hiding in a corner of the room. It doesn't want people to hear its even feather sound. Then immediately Crow asks, "My dear peacock, what are you afraid of? Why are you hiding yourself in the corner of the room? Please come out. People love to see you. People love whatever you are." Then for that, immediately peacock says, "Shh. Do you hear the sound? Yes, a man is approaching. near us. Well, they are hunting for me. Exactly. They just targeted my parents, and now I'm at risk. For that, immediately Crow and Swan are in shock. What are you talking about? Then Parrot, little, it flies up and says, yes, I see a people coming over here. They are with guns. What happened, Peacock? What did you do? Then for that, Peacock says, my life is full of what? Surprises. My life is full of surprises with lots of afraid. Look at that. They would just hunt my parents, and now I'm at risk. Do you all think I'm... Okay, by the way, why did you even come here? Please go away. I don't want you to risk your lives because of me. Then for that, Crow says, hey, we're so sorry, but we just felt you were having a wonderful life. We felt you're a wonderful bird, a beautiful bird. We just asked Sadhu to transform us into you. Then for that, immediately Peacock says, for God's sake, please don't get transformed. I'm living a very frightened life. I don't know until when I would be even living. Then immediately Crow says, what happened, my dear? You're a national bird, aren't you? Why are you even why are you even just saying like this? People love you for what all? Then Peacock immediately says, undoubtedly I'm a national bird, my dear Crow, but unfortunately, people, they hunt me. People pluck my feathers and put it with them. People do what not. I'm really not happy with this. I just don't like this life at all. Then for that, Crow was shocked. Crow says, what are you even talking about? Then in your terms, which is the most luckiest or beautiful bird? Then for that, Peacock says, what guys? Guess. Peacock says, Crow. Exactly, guys. Finally, the whole story came back to the basics, right? Wherever it started, it landed up there only. Now Peacock describes and says, my dear Crow, probably you're the most luckiest bird ever because you're not put in cages. You are not being treated like others. You would not be hunted, right? Did you ever hear? Obviously, we all would have heard, right? Like people hunting birds or people plucking feathers or whatnot. But did you ever hear people targeting crow and hunting for crows? No, because you are the most luckiest bird. You're not put in cages. You can go wherever you want. You can fly high. Life is yours. No one will ever think, okay, the moment you come, they can actually just keep you in cage. No, it's not like that. Your life is so secured. No one bothers you. Neither your family nor you. You're the most luckiest bird in my terms. Then immediately, you know what, guys? Crow leaves from there. Crow leaves and keeps thinking, oh, poor me. Until now, I was thinking I'm not the best bird in the world. But look, the most beautiful bird, Peacock, says, my life is the best. Is it? Really? Exactly, guys. Then Crow realizes its own essence. Crow realizes that it is actually living a wonderful life. So guys, in life, the inference from this story is very simple. Be happy with what we have. Be glad with what we have. Because the moment we think of becoming like someone else, we really don't know what they are going through. So instead of stepping into others' shoes and feeling that we want to be them, just be happy with what we have. Yes, undoubtedly, it's good to know what they're going through, but it is not required that we have to become like them. Because right, everyone has got their own different lifestyle, have got their own stories. So enjoy your story and enjoy being you. Exactly, guys. The moment we compare ourselves, we are just putting our values down. Rather just say, I'm so happy with whatever I have. I'm happy with my living. Then we would automatically shine big, shine bright. Yes, guys, shine ahead. What else do we need, right? So guys, I hope you all got the message. My dear friends, remember, we are not here to compare. Rather, we are here to excel our own lives. So with this, thank you very much and stay safe. Bye.